As the sun dipped below the horizon, a festive glow enveloped the newly erected International Galactic Sports Complex. Tonight, Earth was not merely a planet, it was a stage set for a historic event, the inaugural Galactic Olympics. Aria Jensen, clad in the ceremonial blue and gold of the event's coordinating committee, surveyed the arena with a blend of pride and anxiety. The air around her vibrated with the symphony of interstellar languages, as delegates and athletes from distant stars mingled with human spectators. The arena itself was a marvel of engineering, designed to cater to spectators from all environments. Half of the stadium lay open under Earth's sky, while the other half was enclosed, featuring adjustable atmospheric conditions to suit non-human participants. "Everything looks splendid, Aria." "You've truly outdone yourself," exclaimed Dr. Helia Broussard, the chief architect of the complex, approaching from behind. Aria smiled, her eyes sweeping over the banners that fluttered with symbols of peace and unity. "Thank you, Helia. Let's hope the event unfolds as smoothly as this setup." The ceremony commenced with a parade of nations, or rather, planets. Each delegation entered the arena to the sound of their national anthems, a cacophony of musical styles that, remarkably, blended into a harmonious declaration of unity. The humans donned suits adorned with traditional Earth patterns, while other species displayed their unique cultural attire, ranging from shimmering scales to robes that emitted soft, luminescent pulses. A hush fell over the crowd as the President of Earth, alongside the Galactic Union leader, a dignified figure with translucent skin and a calming aura, took the podium. "Today, we stand not as competitors, but as companions in a celebration that transcends planetary boundaries," the Union leader proclaimed, her voice resonating throughout the complex. Aria observed as the crowd absorbed every word, their faces illuminated with hope and excitement. Cameras flashed, immortalizing this moment of historic diplomacy as the Olympic torch, a radiant orb of plasma, was passed among athletes from various worlds. Each handoff was a symbol of goodwill, a pledge of fair play and mutual respect. "Observe them, all so diverse yet so akin in their aspirations," murmured Commander Zane Lowell, the head of Earth's galactic relations, who stood beside Aria. "Indeed," Aria responded, her gaze following a young Martian athlete who skillfully juggled the orb with 4 arms before passing it on. "This may be the most significant endeavour we've ever undertaken." The final torchbearer, a renowned human athlete, raised the orb aloft and, with a dramatic flourish, ignited the ceremonial flame. This act was followed by a spectacular display of fireworks, which painted the sky in brilliant hues, reflecting off the faces of the crowd, both human and alien. As the fireworks dimmed to mere twinkles in the night sky, musical performances commenced, featuring artists from various planets collaborating in a symphony that melded elements from across the galaxy. Earth's orchestra harmonized with alien instruments, producing melodies that were both novel and familiar. Overcome with emotion, Aria stepped back to fully absorb the scene. This was more than just an opening ceremony, it was the dawn of a new era in intergalactic relations. "May this be the beginning of a lasting peace," she whispered to herself. A sentiment echoed in every beat of the music and every shared glance around her. As the first rays of sunlight graced the grand stadiums of the International Galactic Sports Complex, a palpable excitement permeated the air. Today marked the commencement of the competitive events, and Aria Jensen could feel the electric atmosphere as athletes from across the galaxy readied themselves for the opening contests. The zero-gravity gymnastics arena was first on the agenda. Spectators floated in designated zones, their gaze fixed on the center stage where competitors from low-gravity planets were poised to perform. Aria observed Threx, the Dijati sprinter famed for his speed and agility, as he prepared for his debut in zero-gravity acrobatics. Despite his natural prowess in sprint events, Threx had sought to challenge himself in a new domain. "Never thought I'd see you flipping through the air, Threx," Aria teased, approaching him as he adjusted his gravity harness. Threx flashed a confident grin. "Aria, when you have 4 legs, every environment becomes a playground. Just watch." The audience erupted into cheers as the event kicked off. Threx took to the arena with a grace that seemed to defy physics. his body twisting and spiraling through the air, executing complex maneuvers that left the onlookers spellbound. His performance was not merely a display of physical prowess, but an artful dance that wove through the fabric of space itself. Following the gymnastics, the aquatic races commenced in a massive water dome. Here, beings from aquatic planets showcased their swimming prowess in a series of high-speed races. The water shimmered with the swift movements of scaled and finned athletes, each engineered for aquatic supremacy. Aria marveled at the seamless integration of technology and nature, as the dome's currents adjusted to mimic the native waters of each species, ensuring a level playing field. In the stands, Commander Lowell leaned towards Aria, his voice filled with awe. Observing their movements, it's evident how much we can learn from one another. Each species has uniquely adapted to their environments. Aria nodded, her attention fixed on a particularly swift swimmer from Oceania 9. Exactly, Zane. This event is more than just a competition, it's a learning experience for all of us. As the day unfolded, the strength and endurance events commenced in another arena, where the gravity settings were adjusted to equalize conditions for species from various gravitational backgrounds. These events tested physical strength through challenges like weightlifting and endurance runs across terrain that simulated different planetary environments. The day's pinnacle event was the Intergalactic Marathon, where Threx once again took centre stage. The course snaked through a diverse array of terrains, from rocky outcrops to lush jungles, each meticulously created within the complex. Throughout the marathon, Threx demonstrated remarkable stamina and strategy, maintaining a steady pace just behind the leaders before making a decisive surge in the final stretch, crossing the finish line with a triumphant roar. "Your versatility is remarkable, Threx," Aria exclaimed as they convened in the recovery zone where athletes cooled down and refueled. "How do you manage to excel across such varied events?" Threx, still catching his breath, offered a weary smile. "On Dejati, our motto is simple: adapt and thrive." Participating here in the Galactic Olympics is a testament to that philosophy. The day concluded with a festive atmosphere as species from different galaxies mingled, exchanging stories and congratulations. The sense of mutual respect and camaraderie was tangible, and Aria felt an overwhelming sense of achievement. The Galactic Olympics were not solely about crowning champions, they were about forging connections across the cosmos. As the sun set over the complex, the participants eagerly anticipated the forthcoming days of competition, each event drawing them not just towards medals, but towards a deeper understanding of one another's worlds. On the third day of the Galactic Olympics, the sports complex was transformed into a bustling bazaar of interstellar cultures. After the exhilarating competitions of the previous days, athletes and spectators alike relished this change of pace. This day, dedicated to cultural exchange, was an essential part of the Galactic Olympics, designed to deepen the connections forged in the competitive arenas. Aria Jensen wandered through the cultural pavilion with a sense of awe, her eyes wide as she took in the sights, sounds, and scents that surrounded her. Each booth was a gateway to another world, providing glimpses into the lives of the galaxy's diverse inhabitants. From the spicy scents of Martian cuisine to the intricate silk weavings of the Aldebaran system, the pavilion was a vibrant tapestry of galactic artistry. At the heart of the pavilion, a stage was set where musicians from various planets tuned their instruments. Aria paused to listen to a rehearsal, captivated by the fusion of Earth's string vibrations and the ethereal wind instruments of Cygnus X1. A gentle tap on her shoulder pulled her from the music. It was Threx, accompanied by Milo Rax, the Zephyrian judge. "Enjoying the respite from the competition?" Threx inquired, his eyes gleaming with a shared enthusiasm. "Immensely," Aria responded. "It's fascinating to see how much we can share, despite coming from such distant corners of the galaxy." Milo nodded, his gaze sweeping across the pavilion. "Each civilization possesses something unique, something invaluable. Events like these remind us that we are not merely competitors, we are also creators and artists." "Absolutely," Aria concurred, her voice brimming with excitement. "Shall we explore together?" I've heard the Andromedans have brought a collection of virtual reality art that allows you to walk through their most significant historical moments. As they meandered from booth to booth, Aria, Threx, and Milo interacted with the exhibitors, participating in traditional crafts and games. They mastered the art of folding complex geometric shapes from Vega's flexible metals, laughed as they attempted to balance on anti-gravity pads from Jupiter's moons, and stood awestruck before holographic displays that depicted both historic battles and peace accords. In a serene corner of the pavilion, a poet from Orion's nebulae recited verses that vibrated through the air, the alien syllables stirring even those who could not understand the words. The poem, weaving themes of stars and the profound loneliness of space, also spoke of the universal threads that bind all beings, regardless of their origins. Moved by the performance, Threx reflected aloud, his tone contemplative. Before this, I hadn't fully appreciated how deeply our own struggles and joys resonate with those from other planets. It's truly eye-opening. Aria smiled as she observed a group of children, both human and alien, giggling together while chasing a bouncing hologram. This illustrates how much we can accomplish when we focus on what unites us rather than what divides us. As daylight waned into evening, the cultural exchange culminated in a communal feast. Dishes from dozens of worlds were shared, each offering a taste of its home planet, a gesture of friendship and unity. Around these communal tables, stories flowed as freely as the food, weaving the delicate fabric of new interstellar friendships tighter with each shared meal and every tale exchanged. This day of peace and sharing emphatically underscored the Olympics' overarching mission, not merely to compete, but to connect and celebrate the rich diversity of life across the galaxy. The fourth day of the Galactic Olympics introduced the intellectual rigor of the strategy games. Within a specially designed arena, equipped with holographic displays and multi-dimensional game boards, minds from across the galaxy gathered to challenge each other. Unlike the physical sports of the previous days, these games demanded sharp wit and the ability to anticipate moves far ahead, transcending language and cultural boundaries. Aria Jensen navigated the arena, intrigued by the intense focus that permeated the atmosphere. She paused by a large, circular game table where Milo Rax, the esteemed Zephyrian judge, was overseeing a match of quasar chess, a game noted for its three-tiered strategy complexity. "Quite the gathering, isn't it?" Milo remarked as he noticed Aria beside him. "These games are a dance of minds, a ballet of intellect and foresight." Aria watched as two players, a humanoid from Sirius and an insectoid from the Outer Rim, carefully moved their pieces. Each piece followed different rules, some advancing in linear patterns, others capable of teleporting across the board, mirroring the diverse thought processes of the players. "It's fascinating," Aria replied, her gaze fixed on the unfolding game. Each move reflects not just a desire to win, but an attempt to understand the opponent's culture and way of thinking. Milo nodded in agreement. "Exactly. Strategy games are not merely tests of intelligence, they are demonstrations of empathy. To predict your opponent's moves, you must first understand their thinking, no matter how alien it may appear." The match reached a tense finale, with the humanoid from Sirius ultimately outmaneuvering his opponent with a clever teleportation move that elicited applause from the spectators. The competitors shook hands, or other appendages, in a show of mutual respect, their earlier rivalry giving way to camaraderie. Seeing this, I'm reassured that these Olympics could truly pave the way for deeper interstellar relations, Aria observed, her voice tinged with hope. Milo smiled, his gaze reflecting a lifetime of diplomatic experiences. "I share that sentiment. These events teach us that there are universal languages beyond words: strategy, music, sport. These can bridge any divide." Their conversation was interrupted by a cheer from an adjacent table, where a young Earth girl had just defeated a seasoned player from Alpha Centauri in a game of intergalactic Go. The board was a complex map of territories, each move carrying significant implications for victory or defeat. Aria clapped along with the crowd, inspired by the sight. She's only 16, yet she's strategizing on the scale of galaxies. It's remarkable. Indeed, youth often views the game board with fresh eyes. Sometimes that freshness is all you need to discover new paths, new strategies, Milo commented, watching the young champion being hoisted onto her friend's shoulders in celebration. As the day progressed, the games continued, each match unfolding a universe of possibilities, each player a world unto their own. Aria left the arena with a revitalized understanding of the Galactic Olympics' purpose. Not merely a contest of physical strength and agility, but a profound convergence of minds celebrating the best of every world represented. As dawn broke on the final day of the Galactic Olympics, a bittersweet atmosphere enveloped the venue. Athletes, delegates and spectators congregated for the closing ceremony, a grand spectacle designed to celebrate the achievements of the past week and to kindle hopes for future gatherings. The stadium had been transformed once more, this time into a breathtaking panorama of light and sound that echoed the themes of unity and peace which had underscored the entire event. Aria Jensen stood on the edge of the field, observing as the participants took their places, their expressions mingling joy from the competition with the sadness of impending departures. Thrax, who had become a symbol of the game's spirit through his unexpected victories and gracious sportsmanship, joined her. His walk was slow, contemplative. "It's hard to believe it's already over," he remarked, his voice tinged with nostalgia. "It is," Aria agreed, her gaze sweeping over the crowd. "But think of what we've achieved here. This isn't just an end, it's also a beginning." At the center of the stage, the Galactic Union leader and the President of Earth stepped forward to deliver their closing remarks. Their words resonated throughout the arena, filled with gratitude, hope, and the vision of these games serving as a beacon of peace across galaxies. "We have competed," the Union leader declared, "but more importantly, we have learned and grown together. Let these games be remembered not for the medals won, but for the friendships forged and the barriers that we have dismantled." As the speeches concluded, the lights dimmed, revealing the night sky through the open roof of the stadium. What followed was a stunning display of holographic artistry, portraying images from the week's events that transitioned into scenes of the homeworlds of various participants. Milo Rax, standing next to Aria and Threx, pointed towards the holograms. "Look, there's Zephyria, and there's Dejati and Earth," he said, his voice brimming with pride. The ceremony reached its zenith in a symbolic act. Each participant released a luminescent orb into the sky. These orbs ascended and formed into a configuration that depicted the Olympic emblem, a symbol now revered across multiple planets. "It's beautiful," Aria murmured, captivated by the spectacle. "Every end is indeed just a new beginning." Threx nodded, his gaze fixed on the ascending orbs. "We return to our worlds, but we take a piece of this experience with us. We are eternally united by these moments." As the participants slowly exited the arena, promises to reunite were made, contact details were exchanged, and many heartfelt embraces were shared. Aria felt a deep sense of fulfillment and an optimistic anticipation for the future. The night concluded with a feast under the stars, where tales of the past days were recounted, laughter echoed, and plans for the next Galactic Olympics began to take shape. As the last of the guests departed, Aria lingered in the now silent stadium. The echoes of the games resonated around her, a sweet symphony of unity, challenge, and hope. "See you in 4 years," she whispered into the stillness, a smile gracing her lips as she envisioned the marvels the next games would bring. Please subscribe Chanel for more stories.